Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Ben Mahari here, representing Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Much love to the entire LDBC and the entire basketball community. All right, at the conclusion of the NBA Finals, we'll have basketball conversations on our regular time at Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. Is where we discuss basketball-related topics, news, debates, and everything else in the world of basketball. Just to give you guys a little heads up about that. Okay. Also, I will resume my videos of morning historical perspective where I host off every Monday through Friday at 8 a. Basically at 9 p.m. Central Time is where I reflect great basketball players, teams, historical moments, anything you guys want me to talk about on this channel. All right. Remember, historical perspective will return this Monday morning at 9 p.m. Central Time. Just thought you guys should let you know about that. So I wanted to give my reflection of Game Two of what I saw, and then for tonight's preview of Game Three. Now, with Game Three on the horizon, I've basically been checking out all the reports. Bam Adebayo and Goran Dragic are still doubtful for tonight's Game Three, as the Heat are trailing 2 games to nothing against the Los Angeles Lakers. Um, that's a big thing, you guys, because both Adebayo and also Dragic have been sensational in the playoffs. Basically, as a combination together, they basically combined for 38 points as they were able to upset the Pacers, the Bucks, and the Celtics in their route to the NBA Finals. But right now, you still got Goran Dragic, who's still dealing with the tear, with basically with a torn plantar fasciitis in his foot. You still got Bam Adebayo dealing with his shoulder injury. And also, we have to consider the fact that Jimmy Butler is playing on an injured left ankle. So that's basically what 30 to 38 to like 50% of your top scoring basically injured. So I wouldn't put it against it that they probably will not play. Now, if Goran Dragic plays, he probably will play maybe some spot minutes and then just probably sit down on the bench if he decides to play. But that would be risky because with those plantar fasciitis injuries, it's a very tricky thing because if it tears off completely, basically you're done playing basketball for life. So, I'm sure that's pretty much on their minds. And I think for maybe his career's sake, it'd probably be best for him not to, play throughout the entire series, just from my perspective. But that's pretty much the little of their problems because, listen, the Heat right now have big problems on their hands because what I saw in Game Two was pretty much the same old script from Game One. Anthony Davis and LeBron James pretty much dominating both inside and outside. I mean, when you got both Anthony Davis and LeBron James combining for 65 points, with Anthony Davis scoring 32 points, grabbing 14 rebounds, and then LeBron James scoring 33 points, grabbing 9 rebounds, and dishing out 9 assists, that's a problem because you got 60 plus points from your two best superstars. Plus, you have to consider the fact that the Lakers, as a team, when they shot from the 3 point line, they shot 16 for 47. All right, compared to Miami's 11 for 27. All right, listen, the Heat right now have big problems on their hands because right now LeBron James and Anthony Davis have pretty much set the tone for how the series is going to be played, and they pretty much controlled, the basically the speaking terms of what has been going on. LeBron James has been attacking the basket at will, putting his head down and attacking the rim. All right. Anthony Davis has been controlling the defensive backboards. All right. The small Heat lineup has been having problems against the big front line because they pretty much don't have any answers to stop the rebounding and the inside scoring. All right. Plus, you have to consider the fact you got you got also Rajon Rondo hitting threes. You got Danny Green who's been hitting some threes. Contavious Caldwell Pope's been hitting his threes. All right. All they got to do is just keep penetrating and kick out shots. Anytime that the Heat was able to sustain a run to cut the deficit at least within 10, what happens? They come back. Rondo hits a three. Pope hits a three. All right. Kuzma can come off the bench and hit some threes. All right. All these things, really wore down the morale of this team because I think the Heat, played better in Game Two a bit, but then in the third quarter they just pretty much got blitzed. You know what I'm saying? But right now, the way I see it is simply is this: the Heat need to come back a way to stop Anthony Davis and LeBron James, but they don't have the personnel to do it. Now, if Bam decides to play, which is a possibility, we don't know. I don't think he will. But if he decides to play, he's going to be very, very limited because they're not going to allow him to guard against Anthony Davis or LeBron James. All right, Anthony, Bam is 6'9". All right, you have to understand that, you guys. And Anthony Davis, when you look at his height, Anthony Davis is pretty much what pretty much 6'10" to 6'11" with a 7'6" wingspan. All right, the guy covers so much ground in the paint. All right, the guy is pretty much his presence on the presence has been felt in this series on the inside interior, right? He's been able to score inside whatever he wants, and then also when LeBron's attacking the paint, there's nobody for Miami that can stop him. Don't give me Jay Crowder, don't give me Jimmy Butler, all right, or Andre Iguodala, with due respect, the former Finals MVP. Anytime that LeBron James is able to put his head down and get to the basket, you know what? He's been able to finish, and there's nothing that he can do to stop him. All right. Now listen, I get that the fact that that basically in game two, Kelly Olynyk did a really good job off the bench, scoring 24 points and grabbing 9 rebounds. Kendrick Nunn was in somewhat in foul trouble, but contributed 13 points. All right, but right now you're gonna have to compensate the problems of what you're going through with those two stars. All right, if there's a way they're gonna have to slow them down. I think what they're gonna have to do is pretty much get off of the zone and just basically start playing man-to-man defense. Because what I saw from Miami's zone defense was that they tried to play zone, but LeBron was able to find the openings inside in the zone where he could dish it out to a teammate on the inside, or also can use play the high-low set. And Miami doesn't have the size to stop that, because all you got to do is throw over the top to Anthony Davis, and he could just throw it down with force. All right, or even you throw him inside in the post. He can do the mid-range fadeaway or the hook shot. It's very simple basketball, you guys, that we're seeing right now. So right now the Heat are up against it, and plus you have to consider the fact that with Tyler Chiro, not having the best of series, all right, and you also have to consider the fact Duncan Robinson has been struggling too. Although I felt that Tyler Chiro, did play better in game two than he did in game one. But what I've seen is that what happens is that Miami is being chased off a 3-point line. The Lakers defense has done a really good job of closing out on the shooters, not letting them get off their shots. And what they're forced to do, put the ball on the floor, and then you are met with some help side defense. All right. Right now, the way I look at it is simply this. It's only a matter of time of who is going to be the finals MVP on the Lakers side. Is it either Anthony Davis or LeBron James? All right. Because both of them guys have done what they're supposed to do. And you cannot criticize them at all, because listen, at the end of the day, both of those guys have done their job, and they pretty much have been setting the tone throughout the entire playoffs. All right, you can't blame the Lakers for pretty much doing what they've been able to do. They've just been doing their job better. All right, I could give you a number of reasons why the Lakers should have had a tougher challenge against the Clippers, but the Clippers lost in the second round, so there's no discussion. But back to the subject in hand here. I think that right now the Heat are up against it. All right. If Bam plays, they're going to have to play more of that zone defense, because you cannot trust in the fact that Bam is going to play man-to-man defense against those two guys. All right. And maybe you might see, Miles Leonard, play some minutes, and maybe you could probably see Kelly Olynyk take some spots, taking some heavy minutes in the starting lineup, just to stretch the floor and just provide more open space. And let me tell you this. Jimmy Butler had 25 points and, had a near triple-double. But I felt that, Jimmy did not, assert himself aggressively as he should have. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't do his job, because he did. I'm saying, like, I need to see more from Butler. Like, I need to see him, take more shots, be more aggressive, take the responsibility of being that go-to guy. All right. So I hope to see Jimmy Butler to take more opportunities to be more aggressive. And I know that the Lakers are gonna organize a scheme once again to make sure that Jimmy Butler's time, is pretty much miserable. So, but tonight, I don't see much change in the Lakers strategy. Just they're going to pretty much continue what they've been doing. But also, don't be surprised if the Lakers may have maybe one game that they may much, they pretty much don't show up and just pretty much just, display a little bit of half-assed effort. But I don't see that to be the case. I had the Lakers winning Game 3 and going up 3-0 to pretty much sweep the NBA Finals because there's no other answers that the Heat can throw at LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They pretty much dominated the series from the outset, and if they don't make any necessary defensive adjustments to try to counter against that dominant inside scoring, we're going to see a sweep in the 2020 finals, guys. That's where pretty much we're leaning forward to. So that's just pretty much how I feel about this whole thing, you guys. So I had the Lakers winning Game 3 to pretty much put themselves up 3-0. If the Heat going to have a chance to win, they're going to have to hit a good percentage of their 3-point shots. They're going to have to do a better job on their interior defense. Okay, Jimmy Butler's going to have to be more assertive offensively. Okay, and also take away their 3-point shooting of the Lakers. All right, close out on their space and make them take tough shots. All right, and if LeBron and AD are going to have to score a lot more points to pretty much win the game, and if you take away their 3-point shooting, then I guess then the Heat may have a chance. But I have the Lakers winning tonight to go up 3-0 and to have to take the chance to sweep the finals. That's pretty much what I see at this particular point. So, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. So don't miss Game 2 tonight on ABC. Peace.